Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Trey Finesses, and today, I'm mad. You know what I mean? I'm irate because it just has to stop, okay? The James Harden slander that I hear on a day-to-day basis has to cease to exist. This is, for some context, the Sixers are about to play the Heat without Joel Embiid. And all people are saying is like, oh, Harden has so much pressure to carry the team, which I think he'll do fine. You know what I mean? As a floor general, because James Harden's career has had different play styles. When he was in OKC, he was a scorer off the bench. And then he realized that, hey, I can score as a first option, not a third. So he goes to Houston, and his role is a scorer, an ISO scorer, an isolation player. So he goes into Houston, and he was, if you look at the numbers, and I get like there's all the advanced stats, but like point total, like Harden was a problem. And people blame like, oh, is D'Antoni's system. But his D'Antoni's system was to 5 out. Like, it's not like it was some complicated, like, oh, let's do all these crazy stuff. Like, no, it was everybody get out of the way. We get 4 other shooters. They used PJ Tucker at center. And obviously they lost to the Warriors when CP went down, but Harden, man, now is a floor general. He went to Brooklyn to be a floor general. The only reason that I think he left Brooklyn was the Kyrie thing. Because he's like, they're all getting old. The window is closing. Kyrie and KD have a further view, in my opinion, of course, a further view on the window. They're like, all right, we still have some more years to make this work, where Harden's like, I have to win. I don't have a chip like you guys. So he leaves to go play with the best player in basketball, in my opinion, Embiid. Like the most dominant force. And Harden is the floor general. When he played on the Nets, if you watch them with and without Harden, Harden was a elite floor general, bro. You look at the totals and it's like, yeah, he's not dropping 60 like he dropped in Houston, but he's making something out of nothing. There's no play. There's nothing needed. Harden just makes something happen. And I've seen it countless times with the Sixers where people are literally shitting on Harden. And they're like, yeah, look at this, 22 and 15. Like, what is this? Like, what do you mean? 22 and 15 where he completely controls the tempo of the game and Embiid has 40. Maxey has 20 and Harris has 20. Like, that's all James Harden. And Embiid, of course, being dominant that you can't double him without leaving one of the shooters. But that's because of James Harden. That's the difference between James Harden and Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is, in my opinion, a defender who can play make. James Harden is top 3 playmaker in the league. Chris Paul up there, Luka up there, Curry up there, LeBron. But Harden always makes the right decision. That's what a playmaker is. They make something out of nothing. Harden just makes the right decision, just like LeBron. What we just saw KD could not do against the Celtics. If the Celtics try to play that kind of defense with James Harden on the court, he would pick them apart with his passing. That's what Brooklyn needed him for. That's when the Celtics tried that in 2018 against LeBron. LeBron is a floor general. You can't do that to LeBron. You can do that to KD, which is why KD and Kyrie wanted Harden. Harden can make the decisions, and then all they have to do is take advantage of the mismatch that Harden created with his ISO. And he's great in the pick and roll. His shooting is because he's put on more build. He's not as athletic as before. He's getting old. So he's putting on weight. He's getting stronger, and he's making the right passes. He's firing passes to Maxey and Harris and bringing out their full potential. And all I hear is that Harden is washed. He's beating the curve. It's the same thing I think Anthony Davis tried to do and failed because he couldn't handle putting on that weight. AD gets injured. Harden got a hamstring injury. So now he's really not. If he pushes it, he could be done for his career. He's trying to just get strong, be physical, be a floor general out there. Like Chris Paul is doing now. Chris Paul is just, again, one of a kind. But James is so much bigger. Pause. And I think, in my opinion, just a better shot creator. Chris Paul does have the mid-range, but James Harden's three-point shot making, I've seen what I've had to see. We've never seen him in the finals. I know he has playoff fall chokeouts or whatever, but it's always been like a caveat. Chris Paul getting hurt. He did choke a couple times, but like they missed like however many threes in a row. Like, it's hard to win a championship, which is a completely off topic, but that's what makes LeBron so good, being able to go to the finals every year. Because there's so many things that happen with like injuries and stuff, where even if we see the Nets, in my opinion, if the Nets have James Harden, they put up a better fight against the Celtics, and they're a better team overall. If Ben Simmons played, who knows, but Ben Simmons, I'm a huge mental health advocate, but Ben Simmons, I think there's something else going on there. There's something that we don't know. I don't know. I think he's a righty. I think he just wants to start letting it fly with his right. But anywho, James Harden, one of the greatest scorers of our generation. Just one of the greatest players of our generation, and people slander him to the point where, is he better than D-Wade? Hold on. Is he better than D-Wade all time? No. Is he more skilled than D-Wade? Yes. But D-Wade's athleticism and defense was unreal compared to Harden's. Harden is an underrated defender, but he's not better than Dwayne Wade. The shooting guards go MJ, Kobe, D-Wade, AI, Harden. Only right answers. And yeah, if you're talking about skill, you have to put Kobe 1, Harden 2. It depends on how you gauge defensive skills. If you consider like defensive footwork and stuff, Jordan is behind Kobe. And then AI just hangs around because AI is just one of the greatest players I've ever seen. But Harden's top 5 in my opinion. Anyone who doesn't have Harden top 5, I think, is a hater. I can see T-Mac, but that's the only person I could see. Because if you put T-Mac in that system that Harden had, I think he'd give you similar numbers. But the thing is that Harden was free throws and three-pointers. Doesn't take up a lot of energy. T-Mac, get to the midi, get to the cup, and then hit the three when the defense sagged off. But Harden was just 60, 50, 60, 50. And like, you'd be getting 8, 9, 10 assists with it. Controlling the whole tempo of the game. And I think that he deserves more credit for it. So yeah, that's my James Harden rant, because I've heard enough of all the James Harden is washed comments. Thank you for tuning in. Trey Finesses. Love you. Bye. Peace.
Slow it down, the VC fast, I started swerving. 12 got behind me, saw a black nigga swerving. I thank God he let me off, cause a nigga riding dirty. I could tell she wanted chicken, now she really acting flirty. Really wanted 30, when I shoot they yelling curry. I don't know you cause I'm off the drugs, my vision blurry.